Hello, gear nerds of the internet. I'm back. This is the Rotel RB-1552 MKII power amp. We're going to be discussing this today. Coming up.
6 in the morning.
Okay, so Rotel RB-1552 MKII power amp. Let's talk about the features. It has a power switch on the front, and then this illuminates blue. It looks like, it looks like this has nice airflow through the front. However, when we pop this cover off, you'll see not exactly. On the top, you have ventilation, and along the sides as well, ventilation. And then in the back, more ventilation, so it's pretty well ventilated. You have your trigger in and out. You have balanced inputs as well as unbalanced, and a switch to switch between them. Very nice. And then you have two different sets of binding posts, if you want to bi-amp something, I suppose. And then, interestingly, a non-grounded, that's how it came from the factory, people, non-grounded IEC connection. This guy, or gal, I don't want to assume it's gender, is heavy. It is 130 watts per channel, which is pretty good, pretty good. The retail is $13.99 on it. Let's pop the hood. That was easier. So, you basically have this sort of bifurcation where you have two identical circuits. You have big heat sinks here, and that also, you have air access to the heat sinks, more ventilation, and then that's kind of nice. A center stand, so you're not putting all the weight on these four corners, because there's a big toroidal transformer right there. So back to the inside. Big toroidal transformer. You have two per channel, but 4 electrolytic capacitors. Pretty big ones. They're labeled as Rotel, so I don't know what brand they are. They might be awesome, or they might be less than awesome. Nothing much else remarkable. It looks pretty well constructed. The PCBs aren't the thickest, nicest ones I've ever seen. But for this price point, which is pretty good relative to a lot of things in stereo land, it's pretty good. Not a lot of complaints about the construction. Okay, I am back with a quick edit. I noticed watching the video and editing it that I tickled your fancy. I don't think that's the right phrase. I tickled your butt with a feather about that this looks like ventilation, but it's not. And then I never explained it. And in watching the video, I noticed something else really freaking cool that we'll discuss. So, as you can see, it's very black in here. I can put my hand back there and you don't see anything. And that is because, oh, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a black piece of plastic directly behind those vent holes. You're not actually getting airflow through the front. It's just for the aesthetic. However, what I noticed was really cool was this. Have to zoom out here and adjust the camera. I noticed that there was this plate on the bottom as I was flipping it around. And lo and behold, you can access all, pretty much all, except for like stuff that's like directly under here. But you can access pretty much anything on this board-ish without having to take the whole thing apart. Which is genius level engineering, because the things that are going to go bad are these and these. And those, I believe, are all going to be accessible through that bottom panel, which means if you have to get this fixed, it's going to be a lot easier of a job for whoever has to desolder those and put in the new pieces, because rather than pull this whole board out by unscrewing all this stuff, detaching all this stuff, taking all this stuff off, all they have to do is pap off the back, and now they have access to pretty much everything. There's some stuff that's a little obfuscated by this, but not too much, and you could probably even work your soldering iron in there and get that stuff out. So that is incredible engineering. Simple, but effective. Smart. Good job, Rotel. So, how does it sound? Well, I think I'm going to need to compare this to something, because talking about its sound without comparison is not talking about it at all. So, I'm going to compare it to what I have, the Schiit Vidar, which list price is $6.99, so it's exactly half. And you might say, well, that's not a fair comparison. But in the words of my father, R.I.P. Dad, life is not fair. So that's what we're comparing. Maybe I should bring that down here. Should I bring it down here? All right, I'll bring it down here.
2,000 years later.
All right, I'm back. Size comparison, you can see that the Vidar is about half the size of the Rotel. It, as you can see, has no power switch on the front, which is super annoying. What also is annoying is the heat sinks on the side are there to hurt your hands and destroy your furniture that you put it on. My rack, now from sliding this in and out, is ruined. You know, you can't do stereo balanced. You have to do balanced for mono, so you'd have to get another one of these to use balanced. All right, so just trying to, I'm not trying to re-review this, I'm just trying to get to a fair comparison here. This is made in the USA, this is made in China, whatever that's worth to you. So, no one cares about, or maybe someone cares about, see, this thing's a monster. It just scratched the top of this. You know what, guys? I can't have anything nice at all. So, what do these sound like? And what are the differences? And what are you getting for double the price on this than you aren't getting with this? So, this has a much bigger soundstage. It has much more instrument separation. It has maybe a little bit more bass extension. It has more highs than this. What this has, that this does not have, is that this has a very sort of chewy mid-range, Like, it's nice and thick, but what you're losing is the imaging, the sound stage, the clarity of all the other instruments. It took me about 3 seconds to figure out that this thing gave you way more musical information than this thing. Now, I like the mid-range on this a lot more than on this. However, I don't know that I'm willing to give up everything that this provides to get that. If I could take these and smush them together and like Play-Doh and then reform it, I think this mid-range with this soundstage and clarity is probably an endgame sort of amplifier. And maybe you can't get there until you're paying buku bucks, like 10 grand for a power amp. But I don't know. I guess that's the audiophile journey, right? To keep trying to find something better. So I don't know that I have anything else to say other than they're both heavy. They both look cool. This could really use. I don't know why they didn't put the thing there. Like, why not? Why do I have to reach my hand back here to turn it on? That's real nice right there. Boom. So I think I might be selling the Vidar and keeping the Rotel, and then I'll probably continue on my quest to compare some stuff to the Rotel. I already have my eye on an Odyssey amp. I was talking to a guy yesterday on Facebook about it. My wife is going to kill me, guys. She's going to kill me. Do I have anything else to say about these things? No. Here's the thing, too. Like, I could say that this is better than the Vidar, and for double the price you expect it to be, but, like, once used prices are factored in, like, the Vidar goes for very little less than what you would pay for it new. Whereas this used price is comparable in price. So I know that a lot of people don't like to buy used, and some people only buy used. I try to buy everything used too because I don't want to take that hit. But like on this, you wouldn't necessarily take the hit. But if this, you can grab this for a couple $100 more than you can get this for used, then it's probably worth it if that means something to you. If you want more of a palpable, thicker mid-range, if you want more of everything else than that. All right, that's all I gotta say.